Focus closely on what comes next, because the next few moments could fundamentally alter your life's trajectory. If you feel poor, if you believe you have nothing to offer, then you've already conceded defeat. Real scarcity doesn't reside in your bank account. It lives in your mind. Carl Jung's studies focused on those who built inner kingdoms without wealth, not those who begged successfully. What separated them? They never identified as impoverished. There's a profound truth often left unspoken. Genuine lack isn't tallied in currency. It's measured by your level of awareness. I've observed individuals with fortunes who live as paupers in spirit, and others with nothing who constructed entire realities through mental strength. The distinction? The first group operates from a deficit mindset, even with riches. The second thinks with the authority of a sovereign, even while walking. This is the core of Jung's work on the psyche. Historically, transformative figures didn't change the world because they possessed resources. They generated resources because their inner landscape was ordered and potent. Do you believe they halted their progress to lament what they didn't have? Absolutely not. They forged paths through sheer will, vision, and a psychological framework built from within. We inhabit a society that constantly suggests you need credentials, capital, or connections to make an impact. These are narratives designed to maintain the status quo. The uncomfortable fact: the established order relies on you feeling lesser. A person who feels poor is easily managed, but a person who thinks like royalty, even with empty pockets, becomes a threat. Why? Because psychological poverty cripples you internally, while a conqueror's mentality always uncovers a way forward. A victim mindset will squander a fortune. A kingdom mindset will build one from dust. Jung's individuals concentrated not on absence, but on the next evolution. That is the pivotal shift. While you fixate on what's missing, another is engineering possibilities. The gap isn't in starting funds, it's in mental conditioning. Consider a real case. A man arrived in a new nation without documents, language, or network. He slept on a floor shared with others. He didn't despair. He acquired language through free videos. He traded labor for skill. Within half a year, he had clients. In a year, he founded a firm. His income now surpasses many graduates. The difference? His mental architecture. He never for a moment believed he was poor. True power is constructed through consciousness, not just cash. Jung taught that one aware individual outweighs 100 asleep. What does this mean for you? Your capacity to think symbolically, understand behavior, integrate your darker aspects, and forge alliances is more valuable than any stock portfolio. A sharp mind with no funds is formidable. Funds with a dull mind are an invitation to be relieved of them. This next point will challenge many. Your web of human relationships holds infinitely more worth than your financial ledger. Those poor in mind accumulate possessions. Those rich in mind cultivate strategic connections. Knowing the right individual opens gates. Understanding how to articulate your value alters everything. Jung saw that influence is not merely external, it's psychological. And there's something more crucial than being liked. It is being respected. Respect doesn't stem from your balance sheet. It emanates from how you carry yourself in the world. Operate with the assurance of one who has inner command, and the world will reflect that back. This isn't about deception. It's about acknowledging your inherent worth, independent of temporary conditions. I've witnessed how self-perception unlocks real doors. Someone who presents with poise, speaks with precision, and doesn't apologize for taking space secures audiences that more qualified individuals never do. Influential people don't invest in insecurity. They seek psychological solidity, an energy visible in your bearing, not your bank statement. The aura of abundance creates concrete chances. I'm not referring to purchasing empty status symbols. I mean navigating life as if you have agency, as if you aren't desperate, as if the world gains from your contribution. That internal stance is magnetic. It draws in opportunities, links, and resources. Value flows toward those who conduct themselves as if they already possess internal capital. What do perceptive people do when they lack money? They invest in abilities that cannot be seized. A diploma can be debated, a position can be eliminated, but a mastered skill is woven into your psyche permanently. Learn to communicate powerfully. Learn to negotiate. Learn to unravel complex issues. Learn to guide. These capabilities render you unstoppable, capital or not. Jung examined the dynamics of individuation, and all significant figures cultivated specific, indispensable talents. Authority wasn't given. It was grown piece by piece, strategy by strategy. Here's a hard truth. Resources materialize when competence is displayed. No one backs abstract potential. They back demonstrated action. Want belief? Generate small wins first. Construct something tangible from nothing and observe how pathways emerge. Existence rewards conscious deed, not noble thought. I've watched founders secure backing without initial capital. How? They leveraged what they had, built a modest but real prototype, delivered measurable outcomes. When they sought support, they offered proof of internal and external alignment. Backers don't gamble on concepts. They bet on operators who have proven they can execute. Become that operator. This is the challenging pivot. You must fully relinquish the subordinate employee mentality. This doesn't mean quitting recklessly if you have duties. It means mentally shedding the identity of someone who requires approval to generate worth. The employee waits for commands. The sovereign establishes direction. Even within a job, think as an owner. Employees count hours. Owners engineer outcomes. Employees inquire about payment. Owners inquire about impact. This mental revolution is what separates decades of stagnation from rapid ascent. Modern servitude doesn't wear chains. It arrives as a bi-weekly deposit and the mirage of security. Your actual value isn't in your purse, it's in your internal strategy. As Jung might note, a strategic person without money is only briefly without. Which will you be? History overflows with inheritors who lost fortunes and with penniless individuals who constructed dynasties. The difference was always psychological. Jung explored the psyche for those ready to confront the power within themselves. The initial step toward influence isn't possessing resources. It's thinking like someone deserving of them. Because while you persuade yourself you can't, another with less is already acting. I'm not asking you to ignore real barriers. I'm urging you to cease using them as a psychological sanctuary. A potent shift occurs when you refuse to align with inner lack. You start to perceive openings where you once saw barriers. Your speech alters. Your posture transforms. Your choices gain edge. You cease operating from shortage and begin operating from strategic plenty. And trust me, others sense it. Opportunities gravitate toward those who embody sufficiency, not those who broadcast need. Need repels. It smells of urgency, accepts poor terms, sells itself short. Abundance attracts. It has leverage, negotiates firmly, rejects what doesn't serve its growth. Who ultimately builds legacies? Those who are abundant within. And that abundance originates in the mind, never the account. Here is the master play. While all chase currency, you pursue inner capabilities. Money is an outcome, not an objective. Those chasing cash often land in despised work, trading spirit for salary. Those pursuing mastery develop such valuable skills that money ultimately pursues them. See the distinction? Ponder this. If tomorrow you lost every material possession, what would endure? If the answer is nothing, you never owned anything real. But if it's my skills, my network, my mindset, my ability to create, then you are indestructible. They can take your funds, but not what you've integrated into your being. Jung prized individuation above all, the capacity to act with awareness, to shape reality through a unified self. A person who is individuated can transform circumstances without an army or seed capital. This is the power to make things happen against the odds. Do you wish to cultivate it? Begin with small challenges, solve them fully, then tackle larger ones. With each victory, your confidence, competence, and reputation expand until you become the person summoned when problems seem insurmountable. That person is never without options, never truly poor. Another misunderstood principle. The psyche doesn't reward intent. It responds to results. This isn't a call to ruthlessness, but a reminder that reality hears what you manifest, not what you promise. The purest intentions without tangible outcomes leave no mark. Results are the visible language of inner strength. Mental poverty idolizes effort itself. I tried so hard. The world rewards completion. An individual who accomplishes in 1 hour through strategy what takes another a week of toil. Who wins? The strategic one. Every time. Labor without direction is wasted energy. Here's an uncomfortable prompt. Sometimes you must move before you feel prepared. The mentally impoverished await the perfect moment, full readiness, total certainty. While they wait, the window closes. Jung taught that awareness expands through action, not paralysis. Those who act with partial data understand that motion generates more clarity than endless analysis. Do you feel ready? It's irrelevant. Act regardless. Life is a current of psychic energy. You can prepare your internal structures, but eventually you must leap. Those demanding absolute certainty remain on the bank, watching others claim the opposite shore. I'll offer a truth few grasp. Your ultimate asset isn't time, money, or education. It's your attention. Where you place your attention, you direct your psychic energy. Where you direct energy, you create results. The mentally poor focus on problems, gossip, drama. The mentally rich focus on solutions, openings, execution. Command your attention, and you command your life. It's that simple and that difficult. We are flooded with distractions engineered to steal your only real possession, your focus. Social feeds, news cycles, endless content, all crafted to keep you mentally impoverished, reactive, and divided. A person with laser focus is unstoppable. A distracted person is easily led. We must also address strategic loyalty. Jung knew relationships must nourish both sides. Don't be the ally who only gives. Don't be the taker who only receives. Forge bonds where both parties evolve. Those are the ties that endure and open gates when most needed. The mentally poor have circles that mirror their stagnation. The mentally rich deliberately surround themselves with those superior in some dimension. Mentors, partners, allies who elevate them. If you're the most capable in your group, you need a new group. Your circle determines your ceiling. This isn't mere inspiration. It's observable fact. Your income often averages that of your 5 closest contacts. Your ambition is calibrated by your environment. Your mindset is contagious. Choose your associations as if your future hinges on it, because it does. Let's discuss a painful matter: the rejection of mediocrity. Our culture often celebrates the average to avoid discomfort. Comfortable lies. Excellence is rare. That's its value. To distinguish yourself, you must violently refuse the lure of the mediocre. Mediocrity is cozy. It demands nothing, lets you sleep soundly, and permits you to remain static. Precisely for that, it is lethal. Mediocrity is mental scarcity disguised as modesty. "I don't need much" sounds virtuous until you reach an age and realize you let your potential wither, not from lack of talent, but from fear of disturbing others. Jung would say that's the shadow winning, fear masquerading as humility. Sovereigns don't ask permission to become significant. They don't apologize for their drive. They don't conceal their hunger for influence, and neither should you. What you suppress doesn't vanish. It turns on you. Drive itself isn't wrong. Drive without consciousness becomes destructive. But drive with a plan, ethics, self-awareness, and deliberate action that transforms the individual and the world. Jung understood integrated power. Your mind is your only permanent asset. Everything else can vanish in an instant. I'll conclude with this essential truth: invest in your mind first. Always. Read more than your peers. Study more deeply. Practice more intentionally. Fail more consciously. Learn more honestly. Every book you avoid is an advantage you cede. Every skill you neglect is a door left unopened. Every day you don't improve is a day someone else closes the gap. This process never ceases. You either grow or fade into irrelevance. So listen. Never allow yourself to adopt a poor identity, for the moment you accept that label, defeat is internalized. Scarcity is a psychological condition before it's an economic one. The great figures Jung examined didn't start with empires. They began with the psyche of builders. That mindset can be cultivated by you, starting now, without anyone's permission. If you lack money, it's temporary. If you lack connections, build them. If you lack skills, acquire them. All solvable with time and strategy. But if you see yourself as mentally poor, if you surrender to that story, it becomes permanent until you choose to confront it. Poverty is a state of mind long before it's a state of wallet. This channel, Winds of Thought, exists to awaken you, not to soothe you. If you sought cheap encouragement, you've come to the wrong place. Here, we examine real power, real strategy, real psychology. I won't lie and claim it's easy, but I will tell you it's possible. Apply these principles consciously, and you become a force. If this stirred something within you, leave a like, share it with someone needing to awaken. Subscribe, because in our next discussion, we'll delve into how to identify and dismantle your inner and outer adversaries before they erode you from within. Pure psychological strategy, unfiltered. I'll see you then. And remember, a sovereign isn't born, but forged. You decide today whether you begin constructing your inner kingdom or remain a piece in another's game.